Sukuigar. I am Tal'kovi, and I'm the Aliit Ruusa'ulamuur for Aliit Ruusa'ulamuur, and I belong to the Aliit Karta community. I figured I would go ahead and do a little introduction. I'm, as I said, Tal'kovi, and I haven't met a lot of you, or a lot of you haven't seen me or know what I look like. I started an Aliit page, Aliit Ruusa'ulamuur Rangers, and I post a lot of stuff on there, mostly for self-sufficiency, self-reliance, and sustainability. Some of the most important things that I figure that should be center point in most Mando's lives is the ability to be able to provide for yourself, be able to provide your own food, your own home, how your home functions, as well as how to defend it, how to defend yourself personally. Most people have different ideas. I'm going to run out and grab a gun and that's fine, or I've got a dog or two that don't like nobody, and when they come around they bark their ass off. Well, those are all fine and dandy things, but you take someone like me who can disarm somebody, whether it be a knife or whether it be a gun, or someone that is very proficient in knowing how to deal with dogs, then it really does not help you as far as, your personal defense systems. You got to learn to take care of yourselves. You got to learn how to fight. You got to learn how to kill if necessary. And I'm not saying that, but when it comes down to someone trying to kill you in your own home, you have the inherent right to defend yourself. And this is one of the parts of our Ruusa'ulamuur that we hold dear in our hearts, is the ability to be able to defend and protect ourselves, and including one of our tenets, which says to wear armor. For most Mandos, it's been kicked down to the point where you need to own armor, or at least have some sort of personal protection. Because let's just face it, cops are a phone call away. Bad guys in your home right now. So, with that being said, take care of yourself and learn to defend yourself. I have posted a lot in Ruusa'ulamuur, a lot of things that are in self-defense, mostly in Bujinkan or Budo Taijutsu, which is an area that I have studied for a long time. And to me, there's little things you can learn from various martial arts to cover many areas of expertise and how to use this or how to apply that technique. So you just learn to apply it to your own technique. I had my sensei at one point say, my Budo Taijutsu is not your Budo Taijutsu. And inherently it's right. He wanted to make sure that point was clear, that during the process of learning your martial arts, on the road to the black belt, you are basically forging the knife, the blade, the weapon. There's many steps to that, and just the same as you are that piece of metal being forged into that weapon, when you reach the black belt stage, the shape of the weapon is there. It's what you do after you become black belt, how far into it you go, second degree, third degree black belt, fourth degree, fifth degree, whatever it be. But once the weapon is formed, shaped, then at that point you begin learning to sharpen that blade, and that's the purpose of going further in your black belt training. So I recommend and I implore most of you who are in martial arts, please continue to go further in your martial arts studies than just getting your black belt and taking off. Most people, they get their black belt, do nothing. Air compressor got a little noisy. So continue to practice, continue to hone that blade, continue to sharpen it. There's a lot that you are going to have to deal with in life, and just reaching that point of becoming a black belt doesn't really cover it. I've met a lot of people that I've worked in security for a long time. I've done a lot of security work, and I've had a bunch of jackasses come up and just, you know, hey Barney, how you doing? Say, I bet you I can take your ass down. Fine with me, try it. Even had two of them. I never lose. I'm a fucking Marine. I'll fucking bash your fucking skull in, and I'll fucking make you fucking eat dirt, boy. Yeah, I've had a lot of that. Just because I was in security, I was wearing a uniform, and somebody just wanted to try it out. What you do when you've reached that level of training that they've given you, that's fine. What you do with it afterward, how you practice, how you train, how you hone it, that's the part that you have to deal with on a daily basis in order to keep yourself sharp, in order to keep that blade honed and sharp and ready to cut if it needs to be. People will try you. People will get under your skin, but you're the one that's in control of that. One of the reasons why we never ever wore our uniforms out in public was just because of that one reason. Same as I was explaining in security jobs. Someone always wanting to pick at you, someone always wanting to goad you into a fight. Well, as you know, an intelligent person, it's your job to realize whether or not they're a threat or not, and you know, just walk away if you need to. And some people, they're going to push and push and push, and they're not going to give you that chance to back out, and they're going to put you in that position where you either have to fight or die. This is the purpose of training after the black belt. I have learned several weapons, and until the day I die, I will never be as proficient now as I will be 20 years from now if I fail to train. This is the importance of training. You have to train. White belt to black belt. You can utilize that. Chances are you probably will never ever have to use it. But failure to train, once you've attained that point where you form the weapon, if you fail to sharpen it, then it's the same as a gun or a knife that you've bought that you have never ever taken to the range or learned to shoot, expecting it to do something when it boils down to the skill of the individual holding it. This is why you train. This is the purpose of the videos that I have posted a lot of here recently, most of it within the Bujinkan communities. And reason being is because I've been partial to that. If you live here in Chattanooga, I would recommend that you get with Chris Saunders, Sensei, and Sensei Matt McKinney with Chattanooga Bujinkan Dojo. Um, they are very good people. They are going to train people as best that they know how, and try to give you the very best training that you could possibly ever attain. It may not seem like it at first, and it may seem very simplified, and it is, and there's reasons for that. You have to learn these reasons. So with that, I am going to say ret for now, and I will be posting another couple of videos on a couple other subjects, but remember that being self-sufficient, self-reliant, and self-sustaining requires you to be able to provide everything in your life that you need to survive, that you need in life to help your family and your elite prosper and grow, defend itself from enemies, foreign or domestic. And they're all over the place. I can't tell you enough how many times someone has come to me, and said, I'm just running bullshit off my mouth. I'm just a conspiracy theorist. And no, it has nothing to do with conspiracy theory. But ask yourself this: if the lights go out, where the fuck are you going to buy your food? Where do you get your food? I'm assuming that most of you go to the grocery store to buy your food. Those who depend on the grocery store to provide their food are depending upon somebody else to provide that for them. Your educational system, it's kind of a indoctrination into work hard, get a good education, and you'll be able to get a good job, which is true. You'll be able to provide for your family, which is true. But that provision is based on one thing and one thing alone: the ability to purchase your needs from somebody else. This is where you become locked into that ball and chain of complacent dependency. So your educational system's already fucking you over to begin with. And it's like most people, they're like, yeah, if I go to school, I'm going to work hard in school, and that's very admirable. School's something that I do not shirk at. The educational, the education that you receive from schools, especially where I'm at in Georgia, is an extremely very well, very good educational system as far as, general education, from K through 12. And our students do very well. They learn a lot, and it's very useful information. But applied, most people apply that to going out, getting meaningless jobs. Things that have nothing to do with self-sustaining, self-reliance, or sustainability, or self-sufficiency. So people learn nothing. They have an educational bearing that they do nothing with, other than get a good job and buy everything that they need without the ability to be able to provide those things for themselves. Something simple as farming, gardening, growing your own food, raising your animals, your kill animals, and the ability to stop if necessary someone trying to take these things from you. So, to put it succinctly, in a shit hitting the fan situation, natural disaster, Katrina, ravaged New Orleans. And, you know, flood. These are natural disasters that you can't account for. Looters coming in, hurting people, taking what they have, without them being able to defend what they have and keep what they have. This is where the training comes in. You have to train. For a Mandalorian, us Mondo a day, we train. We know how to fight, with or without technologies. We can fight with our bare hands against armed individuals. This is what we train for. This is what I train my children for. Train my children how to do, my family. So that when our clans have to regroup at our bastion, so to speak, every one of us are already proficient on how to use weapons or how to fight without them. So what we have there, our farm, gardening, we have the ability to maintain and keep it from intruders or anyone who wishes to pose a threat to us. So with that being said, learn your self-defense, whether it be military combatives, a martial arts form. If you pick a martial arts form that you like, follow it through. Stick with it, because, as like I said, I am very partial to the Bujinkan, and I have studied it for a long time. So I'm very partial to that. The things that I train in are directly in that. You may be a Muay Thai, or somebody else might be into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or another person in Krav Maga. The main importance of those is follow your craft. Don't be afraid to utilize this particular move from this set of particular division of martial art, and, you know, utilize what you know. Make it your own. But always train to be proficient. Sharpen yourself as that blade. You definitely will come across someone who is like a very proficient Muay Thai fighter or a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter. The only thing that's going to keep you from getting your ass whooped is you being proficient in the martial art that you have chosen as your profession. You got to hone that. And a very well studied student of, say, this art may have the greater edge against somebody with a different art, just because they may be less trained, or they decided, well, okay, I made black belt, that's good. That's not just good. You still got to keep yourself fit, and you got to keep yourself fighting fit. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say raid again before I get carried off in another direction. And raid for now.